I'm Tony Lombardi with a Russell Street recap brought to you by Royal Farms. I've seen some social media posts floating around, mostly from defenders of Joe Flacco, stating, "Flacco never went one and done." The statement points at the postseason and is intended to throw shade on Flacco detractors and or diehard fans of Lamar Jackson. No one would argue that Lamar didn't have his best games during his only 2 playoff starts, both losses. Lamar in those 2 games combined went 45 of 88 for 559 yards, 3 TDs, 3 picks, and a passer rating of 68.3. Now that's pretty bad. Lamar also ran for 197 yards on 29 carries. Comparatively speaking, during Joe's first playoff game in each of his first 2 seasons, 2008 and 2009, connected on 13 of 33 passes for 169 yards without a touchdown and 1 interception. That resulted in an anemic passer rating of 43.6. Joe also ran for 13 yards on 11 carries. Obviously, the other 21 players who started in those contests had something to do with the outcome. Joe didn't win those games, just as Lamar didn't lose those games. The teams did the winning and losing. So for those throwing shade on Lamar for his playoff losses, stop. It makes you look like an uninformed fan. And while we're on the topic of quarterbacks, I expect a real battle for the backup job behind Lamar. RG3 was a nice player to have around for 2 seasons to help with Lamar's development, but that time has passed. Judging from the way RG3 has looked when he's had an opportunity to play, there's little reason to believe that the Ravens can consistently win with him at the helm in the event that Lamar is unavailable. It's time to pass the baton to a younger quarterback, one who could develop a bit as the backup and provide some hope for the future in the unlikely event that the Lamar Jackson camp and the Ravens eventually reach an impasse on a new contract. Count me among those who believes the job should and will be that of Trace McSorley's. Word is McSorley looked solid during Ravens practices in 2019, working with the scout team. He also was effective during the preseason, and most recently he's been working out in Florida with Lamar and a handful of receivers. Now granted, McSorley's body of work in Baltimore is small, but RG3's body of work isn't much bigger, nor is it much better. There's a reason the QB-needy Browns had enough of Griffin after he went 1-4 as a starter in 2016. There's a reason why RG3 sat out of football in 2017. And there's a reason why the Ravens should handle backup QB duties with a Trace. I'm Tony Lombardi.
The secret to a great cup of coffee might be where the beans are grown, in the shade or in the sun, or even how they're roasted. No, I think it's less complicated than that. The real secret to a great cup of coffee is where you get it.
Get your next great cup of coffee at Royal Farms, brewed fresh all day long with plenty of flavors to keep things interesting.
It's the best coffee around, and that's no secret.
Real fresh, real fast. Royal Farms.